Welcome back to Kansas City for the second day of the tour of Kansas City. It's the third and final race. It's a Criterium in the downtown area of Kansas City. Kind of looks like a Tetris shape here in an 8-corner crit. It'll be the most technical crit I've done yet this season. And it kind of reminds me of a few courses that you'll do or I've done before the Tour of American Dairyland. So, it is early, 8 a.m. on Sunday, which is fantastic. I raced, my son raced, and then we went to the zoo. So it's 8 o'clock. We are the first race on a brand new course, which always makes you a little bit nervous, but here we are. Again, my name is Brady Prenzlow, and I had a better than expected time trial and a better than expected circuit race yesterday, so I am sitting in first for the 40 plus field as we take off. And I've got my data down below, my speed, heart rate, cadence, power, distance, duration, and then the map up top with the laps. We're not going to watch the whole race. We're going to kind of skip around. We'll watch the first couple of laps so you get a sense of the course, but then we will skip to a few more interesting points. It's always interesting, like I said, racing out of town. You don't know as many people as when you do race in your local area. My local area is Minnesota. So I've gotten to know a couple of these guys over the last day or two down here in Kansas City, but sitting in first, really, my goal obviously is to stay in first for the Omnium, but I'd love to win this crit too. And I think one of the ways that I can get kicked off the podium for the Omnium is if I get played by a couple of these teams that have multiple riders. So I know the Bicycle Shack has at least 3 riders. 360 Racing has at least 3 riders, as well as Giacomo Racing has 2 riders. And Jason Rue is in second place from Giacomo, right behind me. And I just want to try to stay up front and make sure that a dangerous group doesn't get up the road, which would then leave me losing out on points. But again, on the first lap, you're just getting a sense of the course. We just went through corner 6, which was, to me, the most unpredictable turn of the course. Coming into the final turn, turn 8, it's a slight downhill. So as you can see, we're going 30 miles an hour, and I'm coasting into this turn. So this takes us to the finishing stretch, and it's a ways to go. And the finishing stretch, you've got a bit of a headwind today. I'm already thinking about that. When it comes to the KOM laps and the finish, how soon can I go in order to maintain the power and maintain the speed to the finish? That is 1 lap. We do 19, so we are on the second of 19 laps. I'm on Robert Ashton. We have the 50 and the 40 plus racers together, obviously scored separately. Behind me, that is Eric from the Bicycle Shack, who will prove to be a little bit dangerous later on. But we're pretty much staying together. These first couple laps, there's a few attacks off the front, but nothing really gets away. We stay together, although I think we're spinning a couple guys out the back here on laps 3 or 4. So yes, this first section is a slight uphill, and then you turn the turn around the corner at the top of the T here, or bottom of the T if it's upside down, and then you get a bit of a downhill. But yeah, it was a gorgeous morning. You can see how early it is. The sun is low in the sky. And again, this was my least favorite turn. It was kind of an industrial area, and there was a little bit of a hole right there, and I never knew where I really wanted to take it or how fast I wanted to rail that corner, but the first couple laps are definitely a little uneasy. So I probably should have let this big of a gap form, but again, when you're going downhill, you know, you can kind of bridge up to that, no problem. Alright, so nothing's gotten away. I kind of coast up to the front here, try to stay out of the wind, but keep my eye on what's going on. And Brendan Hale and a local Kansas City rider take off, and again you see a number of these flurry of attacks. Pushing 600-700 watts up this slight hill. Hurts. I've got Jason's teammate from Giacomo making sure that this doesn't get away. And Brendan and I are both very high up in the overall omnium for the weekend. Again, this effort probably manages to spit some riders off the back, but this effort does not stick as the group brings us back. So here's the first 2.5 laps of the race. Skipping ahead now to lap 6. Early on, here's the KOM. So this next lap, there's only one of these. There are points on the line for the overall omnium for the weekend. I believe it's 5, 3, 2, and 1. And I want to make sure that if I get those 5, to get those 5 points. On my rear is Charlie Townsend, one of the coaches for my son's team, North Star. So even though we're not on the same team, we're both from Minnesota, we have a relationship. He raced 60 plus yesterday, so he's just in this race to get some fitness, and he's a fantastic crit rider, fantastic coach. And he knows I am sitting in first in the omnium, and I don't know it yet, but he's going to come around and help me out. Dangerous turn 6 again. Charlie comes around. Says, all right, Brady, get on my wheel. Let's get these points. Fantastic. So I try to get around Robert Ashton here. Charlie turns around. Yep, I'm on ya. We go around this bicycle shack racer. Again, Charlie's just trying to keep things safe, keep the momentum up. He gets out of the saddle. We get up to 31. 32 miles an hour. I'm not killing myself, and I can't believe how uncontested this is. So I let Robert Ashton go because he's racing for 50 plus, and I coast over the finish line and pick up those 5 points, which again just increases my lead for the weekend. I'm thinking fantastic. However, after a points lap, if I've learned anything, I realized that this is a prime opportunity for an individual who might not have gone for that and also might not be a sprinter to attack. Jason Engel is on my rear. And here we go. And this is a great move. So again, like I said, the Bicycle Shack has 3 riders in this group. So I don't know how planned this was, but they send one of them. And then Eric from Bicycle Shack eases up and lets us 2 go. And I'm chasing. So again, trying to keep them in my sights. We have about 20-30 meters on the field. Coming into turn 8. Again, I just spent a half a lap chasing this bicycle shack racer down. And now look in my rear. His teammate, even though that was a short attack, counters. Bam. And folks, he is gone. I should have gotten on that wheel. However, you cannot chase every break. So sometimes when you are racing out of town, especially against some riders with bigger teams, that's the race. So yes, Eric from the Bicycle Shack is gone. And the murmurs then are, he's going to stick it. So he spends 10 laps, or final 10 laps, with either a 12, 14, or 20-second gap on the field. And there's a bunch of disorganized attempts to bring it back. So there's about 3 or 4 more attacks to try to bring him back. But honestly, I think if we'd worked together, at least the teams that were not the Bicycle Shack, and in retrospect, so you can always think about that sort of thing, but if the 40-plus field that was not the Bicycle Shack would have each kind of taken turns pulling rather than doing this, we might have been able to bring him back. But I believe this is Ben from Momentum Racing, and he puts in a big dig. And oh man, this hurts. 800-900 watts going up this hill trying to bring him back. I should have said to him right away, buddy, let's work together. We'll take 2-3 block pulls and bring this guy back. And actually, it is about this point in the race that we bring it down from about 20 seconds to about 14 seconds. But then the impetus of this attack fades and Eric stretches that gap out again. Doing a lot of work here trying to bring back this solo rider who's attempting to bridge up to the rider from Bicycle Shack who is away. I'm in no man's land. We've got a rider from Giacomo Racing as well as another rider, they're in no man's land. And these individual efforts are not doing as much. No, I think this is 50 plus rider, but I'm not sure. So we're 12 laps in, about 10 miles in, just over 23, almost 24 minutes into this race. And this race is pretty short. I think it was scheduled to be 40 minutes, and it was slightly less than 40. Brendan says, all right, Prenzlow, let's try to bring this guy back. Bring Brendan Hale, local rider from Minnesota, gets up front and just starts pounding the pedals. And having been in no man's land, oh man, this is just hard for me to stay on his wheel right now. I'm sure he's looking for me to go around and help him out. I'm dying. Not quite the way that I had planned my race unfolding. But that happened. So I go around Brendan. He's done a pretty sufficient job bringing us back up to this Momentum Racing rider. It's about this point that we're all back together again. All right, lap 15. There's Charlie. Look at this pro. He gets a flat tire, his hands up. He's letting everybody know he's got a flat. He tries to avoid everyone coming around him, but unfortunately he is out. And you get a free lap if you get a flat, but within 5 laps from the finish, that is your race. So as you can see, it's lap 15 of 19, so that means Charlie's race is done. And about this time, another one of these attacks from a Sakari racer. Very similar to the last attack. Again, if we'd all worked together, we would have brought this thing back, but yeah, you never know. So another solo attack, and here I am again, second wheel trying to bridge this thing up. And at this point, I'm pretty certain that we're going to be sprinting for second. So I want to do absolutely everything I can at this point to get second in the race, as well as then first in the overall Omnium. So doing what I can to conserve energy. My heart rate's at 160, so again, I'm not turning myself inside out at this point. All right, we got some sprinters making their way toward the front. These final 3 laps. All right, now going into the final 2 laps. We've got this Giacomo Racer rider sitting second wheel behind a Bicycle Shack rider. And here we go for the final 2 laps of the race. So let's see how it unfolds. We've still got Eric from Bicycle Shack up the road. He's got about 20 seconds on us, and we're not going to catch him. It's not going to happen. So that leaves us sprinting for second, and those of us that are in contention for the Omnium trying to get as many points as we can. At this point, I'm not sure which Giacomo Racer this is, because Jason is sitting in second. And if this is him, he is doing a lot of work with a lap and a half to go. But if it's his teammate, I guess it's a smart move to push the pace and help lead out Jason. But I don't know these racers well enough. I can't for the life of me tell if it's him or his teammate. But at this point in the race, again, I know I'll be sprinting at some point, so I'm kind of shaking out my legs, seeing how much left I got in the tank after racing yesterday twice. Not eating very well, sleeping in a hotel, trying to figure out if I've got a good 200-300 meter sprint in me at 8:30 in the morning on a Sunday. Now it's about 8:45. All right, this is the good stuff. So again, one rider up the road, and he's a Bicycle Shack rider, and I've got the 2 other Bicycle Shack riders right there. And this looks like a lead out to me. So Bicycle Shack would love to go 1-2 in this race. They send their sacrificial lamb up here to push the pace for an entire lap. That's a pretty long lead out. It's great. I don't think they expected me to be second wheel. Or maybe they do. But these 3 folks right behind me are the ones that I'm going to be sprinting against. But again, I'm trying to stay out of the wind and stay up front. It's nice to have a little bit of a lead out here from this Bicycle Shack rider. Again, this is the time where a lot of guys take chances, especially towards the middle or back, cutting corners or leaning on guys, and there actually is a crash here. Coming into turn 6, it's Jason Engel who just railed a turn and found some loose gravel and went down. I don't think we can even see it or hear it in our frame, but it happens right on this corner. But all of us are through safely. I feel great sitting on this guy's wheel. We're coming down this hill 32 miles an hour into this turn. I'm trying to figure out when I want to go. And again, I want to have eyes at the back of my head. He gets up out of the pedals. I can feel this rider coming over the top of me, so I hit it. And it's about 250, 300 meters, and we go. 1,000 watts, 1,100 watts, 1,200 watts, 37 miles an hour. Lunge for the line. Bike through it. I got it. Second place. Kind of like kissing your sister. But it was good enough to secure my win for the weekend. And every time I can sprint, I'll take advantage of it. So the overall Omnium for the 40 plus. Brendan Hale in third, Jason Rue in second, and myself in first. Fantastically fun weekend. Thanks for watching.